Hey everybody, it's Brian with 517 RC Trail Crawling. It's been a while since I made a video, but we're down to just me on this channel now, in this our whole group. So yeah, I have a little bit of a life, not much, but a little bit, and it's made it more difficult to make videos lately. I find myself just wanting to build and drive, if you can believe that. But today we're going to do a little bit of work. We are going to install the new Hobbywing Axe R3 system, and it's the 8 scale or 6 scale, they say, size motor. We're going to put it in the Yikong 4083 V3. It's one of my favorite trail rigs, but it comes with a brushed motor. It's a big 775 can brush motor. It didn't have the drag brake and slow control that I wanted. So I upgraded to a Hobbywing 2300 Fusion Pro. You can see it there. Great motor. I had all the control. I had some speed. This is a 2-speed gearbox, so it moved and it went quick, but it got really hot, and I just don't think this is what this motor is meant for. Even though it can do it, this vehicle is probably going to end up being 15 pounds pretty soon by the time I get more scale stuff on it. Wheels and tires are pretty light right now. They'll probably get heavier. So yeah, let's see what we're working with. All right, it's the axe. Let's do a little bit of an unboxing. There we go. The ESC 135 amp 110/1/6 crawler. And then the motor, I went for the 2000 kV because I think I'm probably only going to go 4S. And you can see we have the 4274, so it's 42 millimeters in diameter and 74 millimeters long. All right, let's open up this ESC. All right, there it is. Looks pretty typical. Got a fan, and I think this fan is smart enough to only run when it's needed. Comes with XT60, your on-off switch, no plug because this is Bluetooth enabled. And then I believe we have, this is your normal receiver plug, but then we also have hold on, sorry. These two auxiliary mode plugs, and I believe, come on, focus. These two plugs are going to give you, come on, sorry. These other two plugs are going to give you auxiliary channels, which I think you can program to do various things. Probably like the Castle ESCs with the 3rd channel aux control. But we'll dig into that later and get the app out. And let's see what this motor looks like. Oh, it's beefy. There you go, 4274, 2000 kV, FOC. And something I noticed, we got the 5mm shaft. Oops, 5mm shaft, it's the big boy. Something I noticed earlier, let's see it, focus. The sensor wire is much smaller than it used to be compared to one of the battery wires or motor wires. You can see it's not much bigger. Way better than the old setup was. So we are going to slap this thing in here. I think it'll fit, but we'll see. I don't have a good setup to show all of this while I'm working, so I'll show it in bits and pieces, I think. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, guys, we ran into our first issue. So I've got the old motor out. You can see in there, that's where the motor goes. Now, this, the servo brace here, you see how we got this arc here? Well, we're hitting right over here. So I'm gonna have to take some material out of this and make it go more straight. Just right there, just a little bit. This motor is gonna butt right up against that servo mount though. Another thing I should point out, it's very easy to get the motor off. You can see I have it here mounted to its motor plate. I don't have a pinion on it, I just wanted to see if it would clear. But once you get this pinion on and you mount it, there's no way to see your mesh. So I'm going to run the same 17 tooth pinion, except, well, no, I guess it's just going to slot in. I think this little tab right here is going to fit into a slot on the motor plate there. These holes will mount up and then we'll just be meshed. I'm not sure what you would do if you had to change pinions, because you can see there's a screw right here on the top, that transmission, and it's going to go in right there. And then there's another screw that goes in right there. So it can't move. So, all right, let's see what we got. All right, guys, I've dremelled out the material I needed to get the motor in. Wasn't much. You can see it right there. There's not a whole lot to take out, but that was enough. So let's get it in there. All right, so the motor's in, and I don't know if you can see, but we didn't actually need the trimming. I'm not even sure if it needed to be done, but in order to wedge the motor in, I needed the extra room. So we did drum a little bit out, and it clears with room now. It's hard to get in there. You can see it. Clears with room. We're in. Like I said before, there's no adjustment on this mesh. There's a screw here. There's a screw there. And there's one up here. Right there. Once you get all those three in, it's lined up. It doesn't move. So I know Yikong says they're optional pinions, but I don't know how you would do that. They all just, well, maybe there's room for them to slide back and forth. Eesh. Doesn't seem like it though. I guess we'll see in a minute. Well, we got it all installed. Motor, the ESC. I put the power switch right here. Wire wasn't really long enough to go anywhere else, and it's where I'm used to it. I did put the sensor cable, attach it there. I left all of this wire. I didn't cut any of it, even though it would have been a lot cleaner, but you don't have solder points like you do on a Castle or a Polar Pro or anything, so I didn't want to cut the wires too short and not be able to use this somewhere else. So let's check it out. I'm using a Dumbo DDF 350. Let's turn this guy on. So you hear the fan started up and then it stopped. It does have the smart fan functionality. All right. Now I know we're not just on the bench, but well, yeah, we're just on the bench. So let's see what the slow crawl is like. How slow can we go? There's a lot of trigger feel here. but we are moving. Let's go forward. Take up the slack of the drivetrain. It is moving. And let's see if we can... I'm going to see if I can set this up so that we can hear the mesh and see the wheel speed. 1 second. All right, I think I have it set up precariously, but so let's check out the wheel speed. And the mesh. I think that mesh sounds really good. That motor's quiet. Shift gears. So that's the low speed. I think I was showing the crawling ability in second gear. Let's set that down, load it up, and see what we have in first gear for low speed. Also worth mentioning, right now I just have a 3S battery in there. I intend to run this on 4S, but I'm not sure about the all the shift servos, if they can handle 8.4 on the receiver, and the winch is also direct powered, and I don't know if that can handle 4S, so we're just got it on 3S right now. How slow can I get it? I don't know if you can see it, it's still moving in reverse. We'll go forward. Oh man, that's pretty slow. Well, I like it. We'll try to get some trail footage the next couple days. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween. I'll get it cleaned up. I might do something about these. A little too soft. But we'll get on the trails. We'll get some footage. Cool. See you later. All right, we're here at one of my local trails. I'm going to do a little bit of a slow crawling down the steep hills. Leaves will probably make it a little interesting, but I'm in first gear. Let's see how nice and slow and controlled we can get. I haven't adjusted the drag brake yet, so see if maybe I have to do that. Looks like a little bit. But so, as you would expect from an axe, nice and slow. This is one of my favorite trails. Nice and quiet, not usually a lot of people here. So far I'm liking it. Alright, here's a big drop. Yeah, drag brake looks like it needs to be adjusted. Find a flat spot, maybe we'll do that. Okay, so after adjusting the drag brake, let's see how it does. I'm one-handed driving, so hopefully we don't roll this thing into the creek. That's better. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm kind of surprised I had to go to 100% on a motor this big. Ooh, this one's steep. A lot of leaves. All right, let's see what we could do with this steep incline we have here. Again, one-handed driving, and I'm pretty sure this rig is too big to fit between the rocks here. But you can see now the drag brake is working great. Yeah, we're just too wide to get through that. If I could get a tire up. Nope. Oh, can we do it? Can we do it? Uh-oh, sliding now. Oh, that's body now. Oh, I thought I had it. Just get that body around before we get dug in. Oh, now we're bumper. Ooh, ouch. It's just so much fun, and like I always say, if you can finish with donuts, do some donuts. Oh, too heavy. So we just finished our high-speed shenanigans, and it's 47 degrees, 48 degrees outside right now, and this motor, I can tell it's warmer than ambient. Maybe if I held on to it long enough, it would warm my hand up. ESC, maybe the same, and I don't think the fan ever came on. That was fun. We're gonna check out the Hobbywing app. So let's fire up the rig. There's the fan starting. All right, let's go into the app. Now I did not have to install a new app. This is the same app as before, just it updated. So we'll link it or connect to it. This guy connects really fast. I'm pretty close to it, but in my experience, it's really quick. Pretty reliable so far. Go into parameters. Connect. Right now, there's a blinking red light on the ESC. I think that means you're connected in programming mode. All right, so you can see I've given it a name and green Yikong, because I actually have two of them. One's gray, one's green, but anyway. So we have our basic stuff, running mode, forward and reverse is, everything with the asterisk is the stock setting. So I haven't really done much of anything in here. I've left almost all of it the same. My BEC voltage, I've left at 7.4. I would like to go to 8.4, but again, this has 3 shift servos, and I don't believe they're rated for anything over 7.4. Smart fan, which you heard earlier, where it starts up, and then it only starts up when it's hot. So I'm leaving that enabled. You can change your motor rotation. I've left max forward force, punch, neutral. You can see everything with the asterisk. That's all the things I've left stock. I did change my drag brake force. It was at, I think, like 83 or 80. No, it's at 80. There's a default. And I put it up to 100. If you see in the running footage, there in the beginning when I was on the trails, it would start to roll on some of the hills or going down from a big route or something. So putting up to 80 or to 100 from 80 stopped all that. It was like the electronic anchor, as some people refer to it. And everything else is the same. Now, if you look at the bottom, you can see the aux channel functions. So if you have those extra wires connected that I showed you earlier to your receiver, you can change what rate you're changing. Now, there's a lot of settings in here. It looks like pretty much everything you can adjust in the ESC is in here. I don't have any free channels on this receiver. So I can't test this stuff out right now. I do have a Dumbo receiver that is, I think a 10, maybe I don't have it anymore, but somewhere I have access to a 10 channel or 11 channel Dumbo, and then I can use it with my DDF 350, and we could probably test out some of that stuff. So yeah, there you have it. It works really well. I used it out in the field to adjust the drag brake, and it worked great. Go back, and then when I disconnect, the ESC reboots, and you're ready to drive. So after the running out in the trails that you saw earlier, I'm really happy with it. I have an Axe, the original Axe version 1, 2300 in my Vanquish Phoenix that I use as a class 1. And that thing has been rock solid for 3 years now. So I expected the same level of performance and reliability. And after the one run, I can tell you that the performance is the same. The slow control, the throttle matching, the top speed, it's all the same. The motor is really quiet. Anything you heard in the running footage was the drivetrain or the drivetrain, either in the gearbox or in the axles with the unlocking, locking diffs. I was happy with it. It did everything I wanted to, and I had a great drag brake once I adjusted it. So the only thing left, I guess, is to drive it a lot, see how it handles. Eventually, I'll try to maybe swap receivers so I can test out the aux channel functions. Is depending on what you want to do. Like if you saw in the video, I was hooning around at the end, doing some full speed blasts and stuff. It'd be nice to be able to turn off the drag brake or reduce it. Same for like if you're doing maybe a hill climb, because that can be really hard on drag brake if you're constantly stopping on a steep hill and waiting, stopping and starting. But maybe with this motor, it won't matter because it did not get warm after my running today. The fan never kicked on the ESC. It seemed great. Like, I guess a really high compliment or high praise would be that I drove the rig, it did everything I wanted to, and the motor and ESC weren't noticeable. There wasn't anything that I thought, oh man, it's doing this or it's doing that, and I don't want it to. It just, the rig did what I wanted to, when I wanted it to, and how I wanted it to. So, I guess there you have it. I like it so far, and we'll post anything else if I run into issues. All right, so long.